I'm Emily Gregoire and welcome back to French Chef's Family. I'm gonna jump right into the video today and do a little 33-week update on my pregnancy and talk about being the mother of 3 breeched babies, and this is my 4th baby. And I'd like to welcome back any viewers who are here that have supported me over the last year and a half. I've been talking to someone, we are represented by BBTV. It's a YouTube consulting agency, and they have encouraged me to experiment more with different kinds of videos and things like that. So giving me some different ideas, especially in the mommy area, because of where I'm at in this process. It's hard because my channel has kind of been all over the place. As many of you know, I am a flight attendant normally, and my husband is a chef, and we've done different things with that over the years. And the problem with flight attendant is I'm not a flight attendant right now. I won't be flying again until December, but I have so many travel tips, and we've traveled all over with our kids and done all sorts of stuff like that. So keep an eye out for more travel videos. And then the other thing too is my company has really cracked down on social media representation of work and company and all those kind of things. So in the interest of not getting in trouble, I will probably having to be limiting my stuff, my vlogs on that. I don't know how the other flight attendants get away with it, but my company is not down to say the least. And so that's a little update on that. I know everybody's always welcome to go to Instagram, French Chef's Family, and follow me there. I do really all day, every day, just life in my stories, as I have like kind of an innate ability to capture joy. I don't really share, like, if I'm having a hard moment, I don't typically grab the camera and it's more just like, oh my gosh, my kids are being so cute, or this or that. And actually, if you're watching this today, you should run over there and follow my story, because today is very exciting. My sister just had her 2nd baby, and I get to go visit. So I'm gonna have a little bit of him on here, and we just FaceTimed, and he's the cutest, and I'm a very excited and happy aunt. So that's a big thing about today. So let's get back to the video. This is a 33-week bump date, update, whatever you want to call it. I'll give you a little history on my pregnancies. I have had 4 pregnancies, and this being my 4th. And my first one was natural, but with quite a few complications. I had her 3 weeks early. She was in preterm labor. I was traveling. It's kind of a wild story. We don't know if it was related to being a flight attendant. There might have been some, because I flew a lot, just being my first pregnancy and still needing, we were buying a house at the time and things like that. So I was flying a lot, and they think my placenta had an abruption, and I was bleeding in my 35th week. And anyways, so then 19 months later, I went on to have Ophelia, our 2nd daughter, and she was breeched. And I think next week I'm going to make a specific video about breeched babies and my tips and recommendations. So if you happen to be here and your baby is in breech position, definitely follow along, because believe it or not, it's actually very rare. My next baby then, Louis, 26 months later, was a breech baby as well. And then now Luciana is breeched as well. And I've kind of lost the hope that she will turn around. And now, why is breech, if you're just watching this because you know me and you're just like, what's breeched again? Because I've even had people ask, like, what is a breeched baby? It just means that instead of being head down in when babies are birthed normally, or I guess more, oh, excuse me. I think shoot, I'm so going to do this in one take. So, excuse me. Babies have their head down, right? And then that's how they come through the birth canal, and that's like the more preferred method as far as complications go. But breech means that they are in the upside down position of like her head is up here and her feet are down below and or in front of her face. So that presents difficulties in lots of different areas, but like I said, I think I'll get into that into a specific video. And so subscribe if you're interested in that and following my journey then on to my third breech baby. I can't even believe that's a possibility. When talking to the doctors, they just are real funny about it, like, you know, there may or may not be an explanation. You might just have, you know, stretched out that way or whatnot. So other than that, the issues that come along with that are rib pain, and I just feel like my whole body is just like too small for this baby. I'm sure a lot of women can relate, like if you remember being pregnant and you're a woman, or you remember your wife or someone you know complaining about this stage of pregnancy. Is it just, for me, it feels like there's just not enough room, and I keep laughing because I'm thinking like, gosh, this is my fourth baby. You'd think I'd be all loosey-goosey and just like the babies would come and go and my ribs would be, but like every time with the very little effort of my own, my body, human body, just goes back into place and then has to re-stretch out all over again, which makes perfect sense. But, and thank goodness, the human body is amazing. To be pregnant is to be in true amazement of the body, for sure. And I still just wish that I didn't have to go through the expanding ribs every time, because last night I had a very hard night, one of my harder, like I usually can sleep pretty well, but I think she's going through a growth spurt or something is just going on to where I just am in a lot of pain in this area as I'm expanding for her head where it shouldn't belong. And it's just really uncomfortable, and it just goes through my whole rib cage, and I joke that she's trying to find her way out this way, you know, instinctively, like she's burrowing into my rib cage. That's what it feels like. So yeah, that's its own thing. So the last 24 hours have been a little uncomfortable, more uncomfortable than normal, because if you are here, I love being pregnant, a positive pregnancy, definitely, and I wouldn't do it 4 times if it was miserable, that's for sure. And I love all of it. So a little bit of a different day for me. I do remember these days, each pregnancy, and it gives me hope that, like, you know, I also forget them very easily too, you know, like, so it's just one day, I'll be fine. The pool is helping, water helps, so if you're in a similar position, it helps to take the pressure off your body to you know, get in the pool or in a bath or something to that effect. I've noticed that ice packs / warm compress helps with rib pain, and those are always my biggest issues, is rib pain and my legs, which I've talked about several times on this video. But I have a lot of varicose veins, and they are painful, and they are super obnoxious because they just, if I don't wear compression stockings, which are hot and itchy, then I have swelling and nasty. It looks like it's the middle of summer in Vegas, and I'm having to either choose to wear compression stockings and leggings like I am today, or I have to wear a summer dress and have my blue puffy swollen legs sticking out the bottom. So whatever, I'm past the point of vanity at this stage, but it still is like a little bit of like a, oh gosh, what am I gonna do? So anyways, I meant to get on here and be hopeful and happy about something, and now I feel like I'm just complaining. It is very exciting about my sister, and he's just perfect and healthy in every way. Another thing too is, you know, sometimes in pregnancy, like they told her very early on that her baby was not getting enough something and that he was going to be very small and possibly have a lot of complications. And as a positive birth story, that didn't turn out to be true. He's perfectly healthy and great, and 7 pounds something, 18 inches, made it right up until 39 weeks. So it does, this is a wild roller coaster us women go on, but it can be a good one. And the only other thing is just the reason I'm not adding a lot of family vlog stuff in this week is because many of you will be proud of me that I have really tried to take it easy over the last week, and we didn't overschedule ourselves. Like, my personality has a tendency to overdo and overachieve and just kind of like all the time, you know, and it's actually very hard for me to slow down, listen to my body, take a break, be lazy. That's actually the hardest thing for me because I berate myself. Even right now with the kids watching an episode of Super Why, I feel like, oh, I'm such a terrible mother. Even though all weekend long we did, you know, parties and barbecues, and they got to see friends, and they've been nonstop. I don't even think they've watched TV or anything over the weekend, you know. And so it's just funny how you just give yourself a hard time as a mom. Mommy guilt is real, and I feel it just like anybody. So that's just a little update. I wanted to jump on and say that. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with the channel that would be conducive to viewership and helpful, you know, because I think that's mainly the thing that I'm trying to be. And then it's like, you know, I want to give back to people, and as a mother of almost 4, you know, every mother feels like they have wisdom to give, and I do. Like, there's nothing to be said about that. Even a mother of only one baby 1 minute old has a lot to tell back to a woman that's, you know, even 10 minutes before her, of like, yeah, you make it through the finish line. So I would like to share a lot of that, especially just since I'm gonna have 3 daughters, and, you know, maybe someday when they're pregnant, if the technology still supports this HD, they'll come back and say, oh my gosh, my mom was pregnant and not an old lady once upon a time. I mean, I'm a pretty old lady, but you know what I mean. And so this is my belly. Let's see if we can get it in the shot here. Just rocking this, and I'm lucky enough not to have stretch marks or this line. That came when I was pregnant with my first, but I didn't get it with any of my other ones. I don't know if it's related to having breech babies or not. My belly is ever expanding, even though I have not gained as much weight with this pregnancy. My belly just seems out of control. It's like weighing me down, you know. It's like I feel like I'm almost falling forward. So we'll call this the complaint vlog. Tune in next week for a more positive, normal mood, I hope. But at the same time, just something about pregnancy does kind of just cast an anxiety over me, because you're always just worried about the baby. And people always say, oh, well, what about when the baby comes, or you need to relax and take it easy? I'm like, oh, every time the baby comes, I feel elated. I have 10 times the energy. I don't care about the nights, nothing like that, you know, because I have my bladder back. I don't have to worry about them. I have them right in front of me. It's a whole different story. So for me, I'm always so relieved, and I always say, oh, so much better to have the baby here than to be in the 3rd trimester, because the 3rd trimester